Greetings everyone, I am Dr. J, and it's been a long week for me, so I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and play a bit of Dungeons of Dredmor. For those of you who do not know, it is a roguelike, which I'm gonna turn the volume down for a little bit. I've turned down my speakers as far as they go, so I need to not blow out my ears, and that's gonna make it hell in a handbasket for when I'm... And I've already stepped on traps. So, for those of you who do not know, this is a roguelike, which basically means... I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. In essence, it is pretty much where all of those games like... What is it called? It's the same genre as stuff... Well, it's where FTL took a lot of its inspiration, if you saw what I did last week. The last couple of weeks, actually. It's where a lot of those games take inspiration. So, in essence, what makes a roguelike are apparently stepping on traps a lot. So, they're basically turn-based dungeon crawlers, only they are notorious for being unfair and absolutely unforgiving. And this one is a fun one because it has a very tongue-in-cheek sense of humor which makes fun of a lot of things, because I can just go through the descriptions for a lot of these items to say why. Aged steak. A little age brings out the flavor, right? And what else is there? The Bolt of Mass Destruction. This bolt contains terrible energies. You are become death, destroyer of dungeons. And is there anything I'm wearing that's particularly special? And then, the names themselves can be ridiculous as well. Because once that you start enchanting things, they get silly names. So this beer, for instance. Positfro, the drinker of envies. It curses your enemies with weakness. It's like a staff with a knife stuck on the end, okay? It is studded with rose gold. Whatever that means. I'm pretty sure they use a random name generator for half of this. Which is probably why it's so funny. Okay. And also, I have a wyvern following me. So, instead of being like most roguelikes, however, this one relies instead on different... Well, it determines the typical warrior, rogue, and mage archetype by the skill trees which you can pick. So in this case, I randomly rolled this one earlier this morning, and I got Shield Bearer. Return with your shield or under it for the defense-minded adventurer. So it allows me to use the shield more effectively. It gives me extra block chance. Allows me to do stuff like the defensive bash eventually. Sometimes the best defense is to hit the other guy really hard on the head with your shield. Deals a large crushing impact to an enemy, perhaps stunning them. Damage scales to your stubbornness. And also, they've got all this over here just to make fun of just how much can happen in RPGs and all sorts of stuff. Then, Artful Dodging. The best defense is to be somewhere else. Psionics. You will be able to paralyze nerves, shatter bones, set fires, suffocate an enemy, or burst his organs. Seems pleasant. Necronomic and Economics. Wait, how is it? Necronomiconomics. The study of economic principles of the dead. Taught from the book bound with strange leather. A shady magic indeed. And then Promethean magic. Has the power of the ever-burning, said by the great sages to gently barbecue the void which binds the world. This is all about setting things on fire. Setting everything on fire. And that's where I've got this wyvern from. So I've got a nice little fire spell, a rune of exploding, and summon wormling. Then blood magic. Gain magical power through the blood of your enemies. Makes magic a much messier affair. Not a good conversation starter. Alchemy. You can bottle fame, brew glory, even put a stopper on death. It's stopper in death, you dumb. If you're gonna... Oh, also, if you saw that, if your character gets bored, he can end up texting. And then, this is a Diggle. A strange little bird thing that tunnels through walls with its odd, rubbery nasal appliance. This monster is trying to kill you. Die. And it's so cute. And deadly. Oh, and of course a little baddie spawns in. It's a bat! It flaps! It has teeth! It's dead. Okay, I thought I saw a trap over here. And then, because this is a roguelike, you have all sorts of silly dungeon layouts that you need to deal with. And I've seen most of them from playing this for far too many times. So this is a blobby. It's a blob of animated slime, possibly from an adventurer's armpit. Because of course it is. So yeah, in order to win this game, I have to get to level 10 or level 15, if depending on the expansion pack you have enabled. Oh, Come on, game, don't do this to me. Okay, you're just auto-saving. Must not like... Okay, so easy target curse trap, so that means I'm gonna take... I'm pretty much guaranteed to be hit next time. Ah, a sickly diggle. This looks like it has some kind of disease. Die. Simple enough. So, the goal here is to try and get to the end. Unfortunately, because this is a roguelike, it works on the principle of losing is fun. Ooh, stuff. Let's see. Anything useful? The three-pronged sword. The three-pronged sword is designed so that if one blade falls off, you still have two left. That's redundancy. That's safety. Don't drink and slay. Apparently. And it's more powerful than what I've got, but I'm trying to remember what that other thing is. Oh, enemy dodge reduction. Okay, so it means I'm more likely to hit things, and I've got a bit of extra regen. Okay, so that is relatively good, but... yeah, nothing else here is all that great, so might as well sell the traffic cone. It may make a ridiculous hat, but at least you won't get hit by a car. I guess. There's all sorts of silliness. And I'm gonna throw an extra bit of complication into here by going and dumping stuff off in here. Okay, why did it switch music? Usually it just keeps the same tune while I'm in here. Either way, don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Or any of this stuff. This game gets complicated very quickly, so I'm not going to explain any of this. And why is it stuttering? Ah, well. So, it's just a place where I can store my stuff, and I've got it storing all sorts of crap. So that I can use it later. Okay. Yeah, might as well keep these up. I've got enough space on this computer monitor. I started this up when I was back in Linux, because I do most of my video editing on Linux because I can take advantage of open source software there. Well, more easily there, more to the point. And it can be a bit tedious to look over footage and make sure that it all looks good, but... oh, no point actually hitting that then. And same for that. But because of that, I often have something going on in the background. Jeez, I'm just stepping on every trap, or failing to disarm them. Actually, that could kill me. That one probably won't. Wow, that's... okay, yeah. And unfortunately, this game works on the principle of losing is fun, so that means permadeath! Okay, I don't know when that monster spawned in, but that's okay. Actually, that could probably still kill me. I'm just gonna press spacebar over and over to increase the turns happening. Fortunately, with my friendly wormling here, this fire-breathing drake is so cute. I should be completely safe. Ouch. I say that after I take 10 damage from a trap. No, Wormling, what are you doing? Ooh, level up. Ooh, I can learn the obvious fireball. It's a fireball. It goes boom. Then with the burning. What more do you want? Also, obvious fireball. Because this game pretty much makes fun of everything. And there are a bunch of ridiculously silly items as well. You saw the traffic cone earlier, and there's the bolt of mass destruction. But there's also the Mace of Windu, which is exactly what you think it is. It's a mace of Windu. And apparently my wormling is doing work. Okay, what's here? Ah, the evil magic potato that you don't get to see because I killed it. And there is also a holy hand grenade, because of course there is. And it does a bunch of righteous damage. And yes, there are a ton of different damage types that you need to watch out for. Okay, screw it. It's overkill, but obvious fireball. Obvious fireball is ow. Ooh, that damaged that great common cave raven. Okay, I don't want to step on that because it could kill me. So, what's next? I guess my wormling's just gonna hang out in another corner for a while I go kill monsters. Obvious fireball! And he's dead. And because I've got so much resistance to fire, I don't even have to worry about walking through the burning. One of the benefits. Oh no, traps have activated. Also, this over here is hilarious as well, if you have the time to look. Ow. Okay then. let's go back here. You don't scare me, you dumb traps. Well, you don't scare me too much. I mean, you have gotten pretty close to killing me a couple times. Case in point, I'm gonna eat a Diggle egg. Watch out for salmonella. Obvious fireball! I'm sorry, it's so much fun to yell fireball when you're casting fireball. I don't know. I can't explain it, it's science. Don't ask me to explain it. Okay, so you're sleeping, so you're gonna die. And what else do I need to... Okay, there's nothing over there. Die! That was easy enough. Ah, a statue of Dredmor, the person who I'm trying to go kill on level 15. Indeed. Heroic vandalism. Wait, I thought that didn't... Ooh. Okay, Siegfried. Trapped in the Diggle form, he wanders the dungeons looking for revenge. And yes, I gain mana by drinking booze. That is what the narrator just said. Actually, I'm gonna turn sound effects up. Make it even more fun for me to edit this later. I tell myself I'm not gonna put too much work into this thing, that it's just gonna be for fun, and then I do stuff like that. Well, I mean, also, they yell at you, and apparently this monster needs an adult. Have a fireball! That wasn't enough. Actually, this might be. Nice. And I have no way of getting rid of these bars. The thoughts of languishing in Dredmor's penal system makes you feel sick. Or was it that Lutefisk? Yes, Lutefisk, another running joke in this game. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go... Ah, hell. Not a smart move. Can't cast spells for a little bit. I'm gonna go over to my pocket dimension and show you some Lutefisk. Lutefisk, a traditional Norwegian fish product, was invented by the Vikings as an easier way of instilling fear in their enemies than raiding and pillaging. It is traditionally inflicted upon young Norwegians by their grandparents, and is described by one famous author as the world's largest chunk of phlegm. Which naturally means there's a Lutefisk cube, which is basically a play on the Horatric cube for those of you who've played Diablo. Well, Diablo 2 anyway. And if you put a Lutefisk cube into a Lutefisk cube, there's explosions that happen. Obvious fire... But I don't want to drink more booze. I want to stay sober. And of course, because you do drink booze in order to actually do stuff, that can lead to all sorts of fun. Do I drink from the fountain? I drink. It's poisoned. Okay. This potion is... It's not a potion, but okay. So, decreased health. And now I feel stupid. Lingering dullness. A dullness afflicts your mind due to contact with dark magics. So now my spellcasting is down. So I won't do as much damage. Alright then, let's just blood magic you. Alright. This is a death. A terrifying phantasmal reaper with a menacing scythe. And the dumbest spelling of the word death ever, apparently. Fire! Who doesn't love their fire? Although looking at how much mana I'm using. I mean, I can somewhat afford to be a little more... Oh, that's an actual baddie instead of a little baddie. That's no fun. Okay, now we're gonna have even more fun. Because there's a monster in here, so I'm gonna have... Yep, the unfriendly AI. This shows the tangible threat of the unfriendly AI problem. So, yeah. And then there are monsters that show up at specific floors, and then occasionally you can see them at different floors as well. Drink more booze. I'm feeling lazy. Aw, you took away some of my mana, you jerk. Now die. At least I've got a really good spear. That's definitely helping. And I stepped on a trap. I need to pay more attention. This is why I'm no good at roguelikes, because I'm far too eager to carry on about my business than actually be methodical. I've made a Russian warrior work, and yes, actually, you know what? I'm gonna have to show you those classes. Let us show you what creating a character looks like. Okay, so you pick your difficulty level, you decide whether you want to enable a specific expansion, or if you want smaller floors and whatnot. And then you've got all of these. So you can do swords, daggers. They aren't just small swords anymore. That's part of how it worked originally. Axes, maces, polearms, staves, archery, thrown weaponry, unarmed combat, dual wielding, shield bearer. Okay, so this is all fairly standard stuff. Berserker Rage, Artful Dodger, Master of Arms, for the mastery of Mastering of Arms Mastery. And yes, that is a thing that happens later on. Vampirism. You do not heal naturally and gain no benefits from food, but instead regain your health by killing things and drinking their blood. Also, sparkles. Golemancy. Flesh smithing. Other men work in clay, steel, or wood. We call them squeamish. Mathemagic. Arithmancers of the universe, unite. Psionics. And you've seen Psionics and Necronomiconomics. I'm hesitant to do too much with this, but as it often incurs rather nasty penalties on you when you do it, even though the spells are powerful. Viking Wizardry, which is a bunch of combat buffs, basically. Astrology, which is similar. Meteor Magic. Magic Training. Years of wizard school have made your spells and use of mana more effective. And Blood Magic. Laywalker, which is really nice for regaining mana. Perception. Okay. Burglary. Assassination. Then Fungal Arts. You grow strange mushrooms and are more resistant to the effects of poison and putrefaction. And then Alchemy. Wand Lore. Archaeology. You start the game with a fedora and are generally dashing and roguish. One day you even get tenure. Ah dear. And then they get silly. Big Game Hunter. And then Emomancy. Harness the power of whatever and, like, stuff. Maybe there's some exploding, you know, if you're up for it. And then the Were-Diggle Curse. Because Were-Diggle's gonna Were-Dig. And yes, that is a thing. Killer Vegan. The power of clean living, moral superiority, and gluten magic. I think this came out before we realized that gluten was harmful, which makes it even funnier. Piracy. And then, which is as silly as it sounds. Basically, you get a bunch of gems. Paranormal Investigator. Magical Law. Egyptian Magic, which is... Ignore what the guy in the astrology skill tree says. It's up to you to harness pyramid power. And here's the Russian I talked about. Communist. Where you start out with a sickle and hammer and it just goes sillier from there. Bankster. There's nothing an adventurer can't face with a bunch of derivatives, a diversified stock portfolio, and absolutely no morals whatsoever. Warlockery. Warlocks are wizards that really wish they were warriors, or rogues, or cheesemongers. Anything but wizards, really. Their spells, as they are, serve to make them less wizard-like in a variety of ways. And then battle geology. Like all geologists, you can create earthquakes, armor yourself in stone, and petrify enemies. Then rogue scientist. And then, no, you don't study rogues. Rather, you employ radical theories of cutting-edge mechanics and alchemical engineering. And then Clockwork Knight. You're armed with the latest in modern steam-powered military hardware. Glory to the Empire! So yeah. This guy, he gets insane if you're willing to put in some work to make him good. With the crafting system they've got. And then Demonologist. The Church of Demonology is an anvil that has worn out many hammers. Oh dear. And then Tourist. Look, Martha, it's a dungeon full of quaint folksy crafting items and charming native monster populations. Let me get the camera. Yeah, it's silly. And there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff like that. And how long have I been at this? Oh wow, quite a while now. I'm not entirely sure. Well, I think... How much more do I want to do? I don't know. The thing is that the last couple of weeks I've been using a single recording session so that I can actually record these on Saturday and not have to... or Sunday, as the case may be, and not have to worry about... well, pretty much anything else. I just can sit back, relax, get killed by gargoyles, hull arrow traps, and not have to worry about editing it to where it actually will go up on Sunday. So, it means that I was double-dipped with the FTL session, but honestly, I think it worked out for the best, especially given how lengthy that turned out to be. Obvious fireball! sure that was a level 3 monster. Well, it's dead. It's a dead monster now. But anyway, so it's a little inconvenient for timing-wise because it means that stuff has been means that I'm gonna be terminally. Ooh, that's good. It means that I'm gonna be terminally a week behind on things, which is kind of inconvenient given what's going on right now. But I don't know. I think it'll work out. So what is this? So I give up a bit of dodge chance and enemy dodge reduction for extra fire damage and general blocking. I'm thinking the dodge chance might actually be better. I've got enough damage in my swings right now to where I'll be fine. Oh, hello. Obvious fireball of overkill. But, and, I don't know, I'm loath to bring up the subject because on my time, well, by the time this goes up, the presidential election will have been over, so I'm not entirely sure what, if anything, I can or should say about it, because my gut instinct is to stay away from it, but at the same time, I've been meaning to say something somewhere, and what better place than a video series where I'm just shooting the breeze? But at the same time, is it really... Yes, and Inconsequencia, the goddess of pointless side quests, I know. But, I don't know, is somewhere where I'm trying to relax really the best place to think about that sort of thing? I mean, if that's where I end up rambling on about, I guess it's okay, but I don't know. Part of me says that I should try and avoid it, but honestly, I can just summarize the whole political system right now with the road to hell is paved with high expectations. Oh dear, that's a powerful monster. Obvious fireball! Obvious fireball!
You need more mana.
And... oh dear, you're throwing stuff back. Go to sleep. Forever. And I found an item, and I got something, the Destroyer of Shavings. What shavings? Who cares? But, honestly, yeah, I can just describe the whole political system in the US right now with the road to hell is paved with high expectations. We have one candidate who was born out of a desire to have the first female president, and then we get someone who is the textbook definition of a corrupt politician. And then on the other side, we have someone who brandishes themselves as fighting the corrupt political establishment and is going to try and actually get something done. The problem is, A, you're the president and you can't and your only power is as the executor. And B, you're a greedy megalomaniac, so... It's a situation of which you consider the lesser of two evils if you don't want to vote third party, but the problem is I don't think a lot of people will do that. I mean, I've got my mail-in ballot right next to me that I need to fill out and mail off, but I don't expect a whole lot of people to actually vote third party because, I don't know, people focus on what they hear, and unfortunately a lot of what they've been hearing has been stuff about the one candidate which people seem the most outraged about, ironically. Honestly, given everything that's been going on, I fully place blame on what's been happening at the feet of the media. If they would... I mean, by focusing so much on them, it alerted the people who aren't necessarily as well informed that, hey, this person exists, and they say this thing, and they piss us off. And then some people will say, oh, they piss you off now? Oh, I better go support this guy. And I would be lying if I said I didn't understand the sentiment, but it is a little concerning. Oh well. Either way, it's a mess. So, hopefully, whatever happens will be for the best, but it's hard to say at this point what'll happen. Yeah, well, let's move on to more silly things. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well, so that we don't end on a sour note, I might as well do something silly, because within this little area, I can't regenerate anything. All I can really do is craft. So, and which naturally means that they make a little bit about that. So, as soon as I'm finished organizing my crap, so I can do all sorts of crafting later. Yes, I've got way too much stuff. And I need to increase my vision radius now that I think of it. I'll have to work on that eventually. Okay, that's... The Wizard General strongly recommends against eating or drinking in timeless pocket dimensions. Time does not flow in this dimension, which prevents action, besides crafting.
Don't ask.
No, you can only craft here, and really, don't ask why. Look, do you want to lecture on temporal mechanics, or will you just accept that you can't do that here already? Okay, imagine for a second the universe is like an egg, but it's a 10-dimensional egg. And the yolk is you, or... No, you're more like the... Look, suppose the universe is like a giant donut. What kind of donut? I don't know. A cruller? No, it definitely doesn't have sprinkles. Whoever heard of a cruller with sprinkles? Anyway, what's your favorite thing to craft? No, I'm not trying to change the subject. But have you considered the sense of ownership and personal satisfaction that comes from producing a finely crafted item? Look, are you sure you wouldn't rather just craft something? I'm starting to think you have a problem. A crafting problem. Did something happen to you in your childhood to give you this unreasonable fear of crafting? Craft! Please, please just craft something. You know what? I hope you don't craft anything. Ever. I hope you keep that worthless equipment you're carrying forever, and as a result, a monster eats you. You deserve it. I have nothing more to say to you. Okay, fine, whatever. Here's how it all works. And it carries on again. So yeah, this game is a silly one. And quite a fun silly one at that. And especially when in high school, close to the end of senior year, it was a really good time waster. And even to some extent still is a good time waster. It can definitely be a little dragged out, but again, they do have an option to reduce the size of the levels, but I don't know, that makes it a little more difficult though, because you aren't guaranteed certain items, depending on the circumstances. But either way, there it is. Thanks for watching either way. I'll see you all later.